Hello everyone, my name is Phonix from Revowatch, and today we are going to be finishing our expansion team rankings. So we've done number 8 to number 5, and today we're going to finish that list with number 4 to number 1. So before we do anything, I want to do a quick recap. So at number 8 we have the Washington Justice, at number 7 we have the Chengdu Hunters, at number 6 we have the Guangzhou Charge, sorry if I mispronounced that, and number 5 we have the Atlanta Reign. So please go and watch that video before you watch this one, otherwise it won't make much sense. So let's get right into it with the number 4, which is the Hangzhou Spark. So the Hangzhou Spark is a really good team in week 1, and in week 2 they just collapsed. And the reason why I'm putting them up here is because in week 1 they performed really good. They had one of the best goats out there, hands down. Rio was getting self-destructs all over the place, and they beat the Shanghai Dragon 3-1, which is a good result. Because the Shanghai Dragons, I think they're about a top 15, maybe 12 team. I don't know. It's a bit weird. They've been performing well and a bit less well. They're average. And they've defeated 3-2 to the Los Angeles Valiant. And although the Valiant are number 20 right now, they're definitely not. I think they're probably a top 12 team. We'll have to see how they perform in week 3. But the thing is that in week 2, everything collapsed. The Spark not only lost to London 3-1, which is quite bad already, but the London were playing really well, so I give them that one. They lost to the Houston Outlaws, which is probably ranked 19, maybe 18 right now in my Overwatch power rankings, and they lost 3-1. Not only did they lose, they lost badly. It wasn't even close, which means that the Spark could either perform week 3 well, or they're just gonna be trash. So my prediction is that they're going to perform well. I think they won't win against the San Francisco Shock. I think it'll be a close 3-2 match or 3-1. If you haven't seen my predictions, I did a video on that yesterday. So please go and watch that one. It will appear right now. Click on the top right of your screen. So there'll be my predictions at the end of that video. And then they have a match against the Los Angeles Gladiators. So the week 3 is going to be really tough. Because LA Gladiators, top 8 team hands down. Which, I don't know if they can win that one. Again, it will be a close one. I do think that the Shock are better than the Gladiators right now. So I think the Hangzhou Spark overall are a good team. I think they do deserve number 4 in the expansion teams just because of their first week performance. But I think overall, if they perform like they did in week 2, they're probably 6th or 7th position. Right, so we've done number 4. Now we're going to go with number 3. The number 3 position goes to the Toronto Defiant. Now, I know a lot of people disagree with this pick, will disagree with this pick, and the thing is that I think Defiant are a bit underrated. The thing is that the Defiant underperformed in the week 1, only winning 3-2 against the Houston Outlaws, which I already said the Houston are a great team. But in week 2, what they did do is not only, well actually they did get destroyed by Atlanta, but they did beat, and this is what I want to talk about, the Los Angeles Valiant quite badly. 2-1. It was the closest match, but I think Toronto were definitely the better team. They did lose to Atlanta Reign. This is why I think this is most people think this is a bad pick, but I don't think. I think they underperformed there, and I think Atlanta Reign played out of their mind, and I don't think they're going to be playing like that much more. That's why Atlanta Reign are number 5 and Toronto are number 3. Toronto are a really organized team. They know what they want to do. I think Toronto overall is one of the best teams. If you've seen my predictions video, so the video I posted yesterday, I did my top 5 teams as of right now, and I think I put Toronto at 4 or 5, I can't remember exactly. Yeah, I put Toronto at 4, and I really do think that they deserve that spot, because Toronto is a good team. Right, let's go to number 2. So the thing is that number 1 and 2 of this list kind of like doesn't really matter because they're both really good teams. But number 2 for me is the Paris Eternal. So I know this could be Vancouver. I think Vancouver and Paris are both as good as each other. So this is why I put Paris. I don't really know. I just put Paris. So let's go with Paris. So Paris is a good team. Their goats is incredible. They have hands down one of the best goats. With Vancouver, the Shark have a good goats, and probably Excelsior. So yeah, I think the Paris Eternal really deserves the spot. I definitely don't think they're weaker than any of the teams above. I think they could beat them all. But I do think that the Vancouver Titans would win in a match at the end of the day. That's why the Vancouver are just one little rank higher. So Paris Eternal have full French team, really good. They have Shadowburn, which they didn't use yet, so I don't think they're going to be using him this stage, just because I don't think the meta suits a Pharah or Genji player at all, in fact, because we have a GOAT, so we don't even see DPS players. They have Soon, great player. They have loads of really good player. Finzi, great diva. Yeah, they're really stacked team. And so the Paris Eternal in week 3 are going against the 2 seconds. They're going against the Atlanta Reign. Yeah, I just had memory lost anyway. So they're going against the Atlanta Reign. I do think that at the end of the day, they are going to pick up this match pretty easily. I don't think they're going to really like have any problem with Atlanta Reign. I do think it'll be close-ish. I think it'll be 3-1 for Paris, maybe 3-2. We'll have to see. I'm gonna go with 3-1. I think Paris really should be able to win this pretty easily. You never know. Atlanta Reign could always perform like they performed against Defiant and always take this home. I really doubt it though. So let's look at at week 1 and week 2 for Paris. So in week 1, Paris they played against the London Spitfire, which was the closest match. I do think this was a nice match. Again, London in week 1 wasn't playing well at all, and Paris basically had an easy-ish match. I can't speak. Paris basically had an easy match. So yeah, I don't think this is too much of a feat. Let's have a look in week 2, and this is where the big feats come in, because they beat the LA Gladiators. And the LA Gladiators, as I said before, top 8 team, which really proves that Paris are solid. It was a close match, 2-1 for Paris, but at the end of the day, they did pick up the W, and I don't think they're going to have too much trouble in week 3, winning against the Atlanta Reign. So let's go with our number 1 spot. I think everyone was expecting this, the Vancouver Titans, hands down the best team in the league right now. Actually, Excelsior up there too. So yeah, if you've seen my rankings from yesterday, I did put Vancouver at 2nd and Excelsior 1st, and I said in that video that you could switch them around. I still think that. I don't think that you can really say that one is better than the other, because they haven't really been challenged yet. The Vancouver did play against Charge, and they was a close match, so I'll give them that. They did kind of have a challenge there. So let's have a look at the Vancouver in week 1. In week 1, they faced the Shanghai Dragons for a victory, and that's when you really saw their goats. And most people at the end of week 1 didn't really notice Vancouver, but that's when you can really see that they completely destroyed the Dragons, and their goats was incredible. Now let's look at week 2, and this is where it gets interesting, because they had a really close match against the Guangzhou Charge, sorry if I mispronounced that. So they had a close match there. They did get the W at the end of the day, and they won against the San Francisco Shock. And this is what I really want to talk about, because they did kind of destroy the Shock. It was kind of competitive. The Shock got the last map, I know, but I do think that the Vancouver were clearly the better team there. And this is why I think Paris will beat Shock tomorrow. So yeah, that's why I put Paris on top of Shock yesterday. But anyway, we're talking about Vancouver now. So they are undefeated, just like the Paris Eternal. And yeah, I think the Vancouver can really expect a lot from them. And in week 3, they are going to be playing against the LA Valiant, and that's it. So I don't think they're going to struggle against LA Valiant. I am a fan of LA Valiant. I do have their jersey, etc. But I really think at the end of the day, it's either a 4-0 or 3-1. I know Valiant are not 20th, that's for sure. But I know Valiant are top 8 also. And I don't think Vancouver is going to struggle. One of the best goats in the league, which instantly gives them an advantage. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me any suggestions in the comments. Please watch my other videos, so please watch the first one if you haven't seen please watch the first video if you're watching this one and you haven't seen the first power rankings. And also watch my video from yesterday. I give some insights on the Spark, if they're overrated, AKM or effect, and etc. So please go and watch that. Hope you enjoyed, and bye bye.